Hello everyone, stazima here. A lot of people have asked me to give my opinions on the armor and what I think about it. So I'm going to go through all of the armor that we have, that we know so far. I'm going to give you my impressions and thoughts on the looks of it. I'll be showing them on the screen, so don't worry, I'll show them to you as I go through them. Now keep in mind, I'm going to do it by making fun of them / giving some actual impressions on them. So try not to get too offended. It is tough love. I actually do like some of the looks of the armor, believe it or not. The first one we got here is CIO armor, and this guy looks like some kind of spider mixed with one of those guys from Aliens. Not quite sure where they get the inspiration for this kind of stuff, but I mean, look at this thing. It's big, it's bulky, it's got a creepy helmet. If I was shooting that guy, I would be probably scared to death of that thing. Coolness factor, I'll give it a B-, just because I'm feeling generous on the first one. Next up, we have the Gungnir armor, one of my personal favorites. This time, 343 said, screw the armor, we're just going to get rid of the little dot completely. You don't even need a dot, he's just going to magically sense where the enemies are. He can't even see them. As you can tell by the little pulse armor skin on him, he just uses little radar waves to see where his enemies are. This guy is big and bulky. He reminds me of one of the guys from Mass Effect 3, the Cerberus guys that you like to fight a lot in Mass Effect 3. He reminds me pretty much exactly of those. Just because Gungnir has a special place in my heart from Halo Reach, I'm going to give this one a solid B. And the next one we have is Hazop, and I'm not even quite sure what to say about this one. It looks like George mixed with his mutated cousin. It's not too appealing in the tri-armor, trifecta visor going on there. I'm not digging it too much. It looks a little weird and a little strange. It looks very out of place is the word I am looking for. Big, round, and unappealing are three words that I really think of when I look at this armor, and just because it's pretty ugly, I'm going to give this one a D-, and that is being generous. Next up, we have the Infiltrator armor head. Now this looks like a blatant ripoff of Dead Space 2's Isaac. I mean, how more blatant can you get a ripoff of that? I mean, look at it. Otherwise, if you look at it from a different perspective and not from the Dead Space 2 perspective, it looks kind of like a frog with the little two dots towards the top of his head. This one, even though it looks like a frog / a ripoff of another game, I do still like it a lot just because it has a sweet look to it. I'm going to give this one a B+. Very cool, actually. Maybe a contender for me to actually use this one. That's a first. Next one is Oceanic, and it's nothing short of interesting. It looks like Poseidon and a Big Daddy from BioShock got together and had a love child of sorts. It's quite interesting. It's very pointy and trident-y. It really reminds me of some kind of like ship or like submarine or something like that. I guess it fits the Oceanic rule pretty well. I mean, I guess that's why it's called it. I mean, it's not terrible looking. It's definitely not one I'd use though. So I'd probably give it a B. Side note here, it kind of reminds me of the EVA. An EVA's cousin. His less smart and duller cousin, that is. The next one we have is Orbital, and it looks like exactly the guy from Dark Void. That's the recurring theme, is it looks exactly like guys from other games. It's actually pretty cool though in that retrospect. I like the chest there, it looks pretty nice. The helmet looks pretty cool, it has the intimidating LEDs in the bottom of it. That's actually pretty cool. This is actually a contender for me. I'm actually going to tentatively give this one A-. That one looks pretty cool. Might actually use it. Not exactly sure where he can see out of it. The little slit in the center is where he sees out, or he sees out the side. Or maybe he's like the Gungnir's other cousin where he just uses radar sonar to see where people are. I don't know. Next up, we have our good old friend Recon, and it looks like they took Recon, put it into a trash compactor, and then spit it back up and put it on top of his head. That's exactly what it looks like. Give this one a C+. And next up, we have our other good friend, the Scout helmet. And this one looks like they put it into a trash compactor, crushed it up, took it out, and tried to put it back on his head, but failed to do so. So then they had to scrap the helmet and start over completely from memory. And they didn't remember how the helmet looked, so they just kind of made it longer and less appealing. So I'm going to give this one a B-. Next up, we have one of my favorites, actually, the Soldier helmet. It looks like a mix between a skull and a guy who wants to rip your face off. I mean, look at him. He looks like an angry guy that you don't want to mess with. He looks like he could take your face and crush it into a million little bits. I'm gonna give this guy a solid A. That's a pretty good helmet. I actually like that one. That's definitely a contender, one I'm gonna use. Next up, we have probably the coolest one, the Venator or Venator, however you want to say it. It may be a different language that I'm talking here, but the Venator really looks pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of like a mix between a Dead Space Isaac with the blue arrow LEDs going down. It looks got like crazy spikes coming out of it and lots of arrows. I like the arrow pointy design with lots of jutting things so you can like stab people with that. Definitely the coolest one I've seen so far, and definitely my favorite. Probably it's going to be one of the hardest ones to unlock though, because it is coolest. I'm probably going to be stuck with like Recon or something like that off the start, and that's going to be pretty depressing. But working up to this one, probably my favorite one so far. Going to give it a solid A+, probably my favorite one yet. And we have two more. The first one is the Deadeye helmet, which actually looks pretty cool. It's very reminiscent of an eagle from the vision, or the visor rather. I think that's what they're actually going for in this one. This one's a solid helmet. I like it a lot. Gonna give this one an A-. And last but not least is the Locust helmet. Now this one is especially scary because there is no visor, and if you look closely, it actually is supposed to resemble an actual human skull. It's actually very disturbing, and it's actually scaring me. I think I might get nightmares from this helmet, and people looking down on me, shooting at me with this helmet. Not going to be a good thing. It's probably a cooler one though. It's one of the cooler ones, definitely up there, but just because it's so scary, I'm going to degrade that grade down to a B+. And that's my opinion on all the different armor. Remember, it's tough love. I still do like all the armor, and I love 343 so much. Tough love sometimes, you know what you're going to do. Well, guys, that's all the time I have for this commentary. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. stazima out.